Good morning, everybody. You are here with Bright Lights and our It's All Greek to Me Flipside Camp. My name's Renee, and I'm the Education Coordinator for Bright Lights. I will be serving as one of your behind-the-scene hosts, and my friend, Miss Lori, is going to be helping with hosting duties today. I want to cover just a few items before we get started, and then I will turn this over to Miss Shelley so the fun can begin. Remember, because we are in a webinar format, we can't see your picture or hear you. However, if you want to ask or answer a question, just use the chat feature at the bottom of your screen. You can type in your question or comment, and we will see it and can relay that to Miss Shelley or Miss Lori and make sure that you either get your comment heard or your question answered. I also want to remind you that we are recording this session, and we'll have a link in a few days on our YouTube channel to this Flipside camp, so you can watch it again or share it with a friend. Finally, I want to thank Black Hills Energy for supporting Bright Lights and sponsoring our Flipside camps this summer. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Miss Shelley and Miss Lori so that we can learn a little bit about Greek gods and goddesses and see what kind of activities we're doing today. Good morning, Miss Lori and Miss Shelley.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Miss Shelley. It's Miss Lori. I have my toga on.
You look great. How are you this morning? Hi, boys and girls.
Hey, boys and girls. As some of our friends already know, I just like a reason to put on a costume. So I'm Greek toga today, and I was thinking about which goddess I would like to be, and I've decided that I am the goddess of hearth and home, which is Athena.
Perfect. There's some stories about Athena, you know. She's kind of a
Oh, perfect. That's me.
So I'm Shelley. Good morning, boys and girls. And this is my husband, Neil. And we're going to work on this together today. And the next 2 days, we're going to learn how to cut a pomegranate. We're going to make ambrosia. We're going to learn about the Trojan Wars. We're going to weave, learn about Arachne, and do all kinds of things. So Neil is going to start us out talking about the beginning of the world. Here we go. It's all Greek to me.
Miss Shelley, before we get
Nope, go ahead, Miss Lori. You already knew what I was going to say.
Yes, we're having a little echoey, so if we can mute you. Okay, you're right. What's the goddess of technology? We need her a little bit.
So the beginning of the world. The story of the ancient Greeks told about the beginning of the world explains how the universe was divided into 4 parts: the earth, the underworld, the sea, and the sky. That's where Mount Olympus is located. Although Mount Olympus is a real mountain in Greece, the name came to mean the imaginary place where many Greek gods were believed to live. Likewise, you will find words in the following story that have a modern meaning and form changed from what they were to the original Greeks. This is the story of the beginning of the world. Chaos, titans, and new gods at battle. The world began in a state of nothingness called chaos. Slowly, Mother Earth emerged from chaos and produced a generation called giants, or named Titans in the myth. Kronos was the king of the Titans, and he married Rhea, and they had 5 children. But Kronos was so jealous and power hungry that he swallowed them all. And when Rhea had her last child, Zeus, she tricked Kronos into swallowing a stone instead so that the child would live. As Zeus grew up, he plotted revenge against his father for swallowing his brothers and sisters. He knew that because they were immortal, his brothers and sisters had not died when they were swallowed. They were still inside Kronos, waiting to be rescued. One day, Zeus slipped a bitter potion into Kronos' drink, and when Kronos choked, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon came tumbling out of him. A fierce battle between the Titans and Kronos followed. Zeus hurled large boulders down the side of Mount Olympus. Pan, the young goat god, shouted that the world was ending, and the Titans feared that the mountains would collapse and fled. The younger gods, called the new gods, won control of Earth. Zeus banished the Titans, except for Atlas, who was sentenced to hold the Earth up forever. Three brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, divided the world. Zeus took control of the sky and Mount Olympus. Hades became the god of the underworld, and Poseidon controlled the sea. Zeus's three sisters, Hestia, Demeter, and Hera, joined him on Mount Olympus. That's the story of the beginning of the world according to Greek mythology.
All right, you're going to head over to the tech table.
All right, so we're going over to the tech table next.
All right.
Boys and girls, as we continue to just get our ducks in a row here and get our It's Greek to Me ready, hopefully you printed out some of the items from our website, but we're going to be talking about gods and goddesses, which we've already heard a little about in our story. But I'm mostly excited we're going to make ambrosia, which is, oh, I love it. I've been snacking on some of the ingredients, so I hope I have enough left to make my recipe. And you might not make it along with us, but maybe you'll make it later in the day for your family. It's kind of like a salad, but it has marshmallows in it, which is my favorite kind of salad. And it has mandarin oranges and pineapple and Cool Whip and coconut, which is my favorite, and sour cream. Ah, there's Miss Shelley. We can't quite hear you yet, but let's get your sound on. No, oh, are you there?
Here.
Oh, perfect. You did it.
You see Neil behind me too. Turn that off. Oh, boys and girls, you know how this is. I share my screen.
Perfect.
And we are going to do an activity. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. I think we're all set.
I think we've got this echo though, so Now if I turn.
Okay, now we can't hear you. I can't hear you. Well, I can't hear anything other than maybe me.
You can hear me now.
Now we can hear you.
All right, we're gonna go with. All right, so we're gonna do a little, it's all Greek to me, gods.
Oops, the echo's back, but we might just have to live with it.
Okay. And boys and girls, you are just going to chat what you think the answer is. All right, here we go.
Miss Shelley, we can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I feel it's like it's that commercial where it's, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's just like that.
Just like that. Here we go. It gets lonely down here. My brothers never come visit. and neither does anyone else unless they're dead. So you're going to chat what you think the answer is.
Ooh, I think I just figured it out. Wow, I'm quick today, Miss Shelley.
Okay.
Some answers. We have, someone says D, someone says C, someone said Hades, someone says A.
Here it is. Answer is Hades. The god
There you go. Hades.
and the king of the underworld. So who all said C, Hades.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Violet, Rex, several of our friends did a great job there.
How about this one? Don't you just love flowers? I do. I love making flowers and things grow out of the ground. I guess you could say I'm like a gardener.
Okay, a gardener.
Let's see.
Oh no, I don't know.
Yeah. See, if someone thinks Athena, O'Hara. All right, let's see. Demeter. Good job.
Oh.
Of the harvest, she presides over grains and the fertility of the earth. She is also goddess of sacred law and the cycle of life and death. Okay, here goes the next one.
Oh.
My husband is the leader of the gods. All the other women better stay away from him unless they want to make this queen angry.
This is one of the rare ones I think I know.
You know this one? Let's see. Oh, yes, it is. Hera, the queen of the gods, is the wife and sister of Zeus in the Olympian Pantheon. She is known for being the goddess of marriage and birth. She was known to be jealous and vengeful.
Oh.
Beware of Hera.
Okay.
All right. I've got eyes as blue as the sea. My brother is in charge of Mount Olympus, but where I live, I'm in charge. Just ask the sailors or fishermen. I'm seeing a lot of the right answers for this one.
Yep, that's good. At least I think I know, because I think I know the right answer.
You're not willing to try that, though, huh? It is Poseidon.
No, I think it's Poseidon.
You are right. God of
good.
earthquakes, storms, and horses is considered one of the most bad-tempered, moody, and greedy Olympian gods. He was known to be vengeful when questioned. My dad is king of the gods, but nobody seems to like me much, because maybe I like to fight a lot.
Oh no, what's the fightiest of all the gods?
This is a tough one. I'm seeing different answers. Here it is. Ares. God of war. One of the 12 Olympian gods and son of Zeus and Hera. Ares represents the violent and physical, untamed aspects of war. Wow. All right. Oh, I gave it away.
Maybe no one saw it.
No one saw it. Some people say I came out of the sea, but I'm not sure. What I do know is that my son and I often help people fall in love.
Well, my first reaction is Cupid, but I don't think Cupid's a god, so let me think again.
Choices, Lori. So here we go. Aphrodite. The Olympian goddess of love and beauty, she was depicted as a beautiful woman, often accompanied by the winged godling Eros. All right. Woo! Delivery isn't an easy job, especially when you've got to fly everywhere. But I get the message right most of the time. Yeah. I see some great guesses.
I do
You guys
too.
know. Here it is. Hermes, the messenger god, one of the cleverest and most mischievous of the Olympian gods. He was the patron of shepherds, invented the lyre, and was above all the messenger for Mount Olympus. Okay. If I'm not with my twin brother, I'm probably in the woods with my dogs looking for animals. Got a guess? Lori, what's your guess? It is Artemis, the goddess of wild animals, the hunt and vegetation. Artemis was the daughter of Zeus and Leto and the twin sister of Apollo. All right. I'm a busy guy. Ask my twin sister. Not only do I watch over musicians, I've always got to make sure the sun gets up every morning. It is. Yeah, I must have given it away on that other slide. You guys are rock stars. Apollo.
They
Apollo,
are.
recognized as a god of archery, music and dance, truth and prophecy, healing and diseases. Apollo is the son of Zeus and Leto. His twin sister is Artemis, goddess of the hunt. Did you know I was born from my father's brain? I tell you, these Greeks, crazy. I guess that's
They
why
are crazy.
education and learning so much. A's, B's, C's. It is Athena, the goddess of wisdom and military victory, and also the patron, I should say, of Athens, was Hercules' half-sister. Her parents were Zeus and Metis, a nymph. My sister might be married to Zeus, but if she wants to have a happy home, she better come see me. I can make sure that all her cooking, cleaning, and sewing goes smoothly. Hestia, the goddess of hearth, home, architecture, domesticity, and family. She's the daughter of Crocus and Rhea, sister of Zeus. Good job. If you guys were rock stars on those.
They were.
So good job. Now, we're going to take a look at a couple myths. And the first one that Neil's going to read to you, a little bit later, we're going to head to the kitchen and we're going to look to see how to pomegranate. So you're going to find out something about that. So we're going to head to the book nook.
Heading to the book nook, heading to the book nook. Oh, there he is, we're ready to hear.
There you are.
This is the story of Persephone and Hades. The goddess Demeter was in charge of the harvest. When Demeter was happy, the crops grew tall and the people were well fed. Demeter had a daughter named Persephone who loved picking flowers in the meadows. And one day, Hades, the god of the underworld, saw Persephone and fell in love at first sight. Hades kidnapped Persephone and took her in his chariot, along with his three-headed dog named Cerberus, back down to the underworld. Locked in a room in the underworld, Persephone cried and wouldn't speak to Hades. Most importantly, she refused to eat. It was said that if you ate anything in the underworld, you could never leave. Many days passed, and eventually, unable to resist her hunger any longer, Persephone ate some pomegranate seeds. Then she became even more upset because now it seemed that she could never be rescued and would have to live in the underworld forever. Meanwhile, as Zeus flew around on Pegasus, a winged horse, he was concerned with what he saw. The crops were suffering because Demeter was very sad. The people would die if the crops failed. So Zeus sent Hermes, his youngest son and messenger, to talk with Hades about releasing Persephone. When Hermes found out that Persephone had eaten the pomegranate seeds, he knew that Hades wouldn't just let her go. So he had to offer a compromise. The deal he made was that if Persephone would marry Hades, she would live as the queen of the underworld for 6 months of the year. However, each spring, Persephone would return and live on Earth with her mother for the other 6 months of the year. Hades, Persephone, and Demeter all agreed to this deal. Each spring, Demeter makes sure that all the flowers bloom in lovely colors to greet her daughter upon her arrival. And each fall, when Persephone goes back to the underworld, Demeter misses her so much that she lets the plants die until spring, and the cycle starts again. This is the story of the seasons, according to Greek mythology. So, are we going to the kitchen next? So now we're going to head to the kitchen and talk about pomegranates and ambrosia.
Ah,
All right.
let's see, Miss Shelley. We can't hear you, but we can see you. We can't hear you, but we can see you.
All right, Lori, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. I think one of the mischievous gods has been having a little fun today.
I don't know which one that is, but it is happening today. So I've
That's
got
okay.
pomegranate here. Okay. And
Oh,
this up in the grocery store. And Nebraska is not known for growing pomegranates, but it looks kind of like a weird alien kind of fruit if you look at it. And I'm going to show you that pomegranate because Neil just read a story that kind of explained the seasons. So when I cut a pomegranate, here's what I have to do. I'm going to turn my little thing so it's like a cooking show. I'm going to, this has a little knobby part of the pomegranate. So I'm going to cut it kind of off there until I can see some of those great pomegranate seeds.
wow. It's if it looks like an alien on the outside, it really looks like an alien on the inside.
See that? Look how gorgeous that is. And you don't
So
eat
what?
pulp,
Okay.
okay, because that would be sour. You're just going to try to eat the seeds. And it's really messy, just so you know. I have a cutting board here. And when you look at it, you can kind of see it's like in segments, like a grapefruit almost.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just barely cut. Be really careful with the knife. I'm going to barely cut along those segments.
So you're just cutting through the outside skin, it looks like, not way into the pulp.
Not way in, because I don't want to waste any of those beautiful seeds. So just a thin cut. And
There she goes.
so I can pull it apart really easily.
Oh, I see now.
Whoop, there they go. They're going down. My cats will probably love that. Remember, those of you that joined me earlier on with Bright Lights, see, kind of hangs out. So when I open that up, I can take this middle part out, and all of those little seeds are yummy goodness. This is one I did earlier this morning. And then I just take a bowl and I turn my pomegranate seeds over and I just kind of open it up and I knock on it a little. And then they're going to come out.
I'm
And
going to share with you what Renee said, Shelley.
yes,
She says if I was a goddess,
yes.
I'd have someone else cut up my pomegranate.
Yeah. Now, what I've seen online is once you get that and pound that, and that would take us the whole morning for me to do this. You can then put water in there, and the pomegranates, they're going to sink, and that rind, that white rind will float, and then you can just dig rind out and enjoy pomegranate seeds. So
What do they taste like, Shelley?
they taste really sour.
Oh.
Like popcorn nuggets almost, popcorn kernels.
Yeah.
And they've got a seed inside of them, but you can eat the seed. So
Yeah.
just like
I have bought pomegranate juice before, Shelley.
yeah.
It was so sour and made my mouth so dry that I thought, what is this?
Did you like it?
No, but they say it's good for you.
It is good for you. Now,
You know, they're like little bursting things.
well, I shouldn't say cook. We're going to make one more thing. And there's something called ambrosia. And ambrosia is almost like the food of the gods. And there's a story in ancient Greek myths that ambrosia kind of gave people immortality. They could live forever if they had ambrosia. And so Achilles' mom wanted him to be able to live forever. And so she decided that she was going to dip him in ambrosia. So she picked him up by his heel, okay? And then she dipped him down into the ambrosia. And as she was dipping him, Achilles' father came in because she's dipping him in ambrosia, so he's immortal, he can live forever, nothing can hurt him. As she's dipping him in, his father comes rushing in and says, "What are you doing? Stop what you're doing," you know? And so there's one spot on Achilles that didn't get dipped into that ambrosia. So he has one spot on himself that can be injured. And that is the heel on his foot. And so that is the story of Achilles. Now, Robert said, I thought it was the river Styx. And remember, yes, there's all kinds of silly stories, or wonderful stories, I should say, in Greek mythology. I'm going to make ambrosia, okay? Now, Lori, she's going to make ambrosia with me too. And it's really easy.
I'm so excited.
You need some pineapple tidbits. Okay, Neil, you want to get the sour cream and the Cool Whip out of the fridge. You need a can of mandarin oranges.
Okay, I have my mandarin oranges.
I took the juice off already.
I drained mine too. Okay.
So then I get my measuring cup, and I'm going to put a cup of cream cheese.
Cream cheese or sour cream?
Gosh, Lori, sour cream. But I do love cream.
Okay. I love them all.
Now, this recipe is on the Bright website. So if you're not sitting here making this along with Lori and I, that's okay. Here,
I'm so excited.
far. There's my cup of sour cream.
Okay. Is it a cup of sour cream or a half a cup? Oh, it's a full cup.
Full cup. No, it's a half a cup. It's a half a cup. It's a half a cup.
Okay.
Half a cup. And then a half a cup of Cool Whip.
Oh, I love Cool Whip.
I might cheat and put a little bit more. A half a cup. Now, if anyone knows me real well, and I see Jenna is out there, and Jenna kind of knows that I kind of wing it through life, don't I?
Sure.
And I don't really measure. This is a cup of marshmallows. So, all right, you ready? You guys tell me when you think I got a cup in there.
Oh my goodness.
And Marin says, yeah, Mrs. Clayburn, she kind of wings things. I do, Marin. And a cup of coconut.
Oh, I've got marshmallows going everywhere, Miss Shelley. Ah! Oh, here, we were going to try this as I'm putting my marshmallows in.
Let's see if I can marshmallow.
Miss Shelley, I'm going to try and throw it in your mouth. Oh, okay, I need to try another one. Oh, wait. Oh, that was fun. My dog will enjoy having a treat.
Okay, I'm going to go like this.
Oh, now I'm mixing it up. Is that what I'm doing?
Mix it all up.
Oh, it smells
So
sweet.
you guys out there, guys and gals, peeps, Greeks, you could whip this up tonight and have a little side salad. And it's very summery. And you could pretend that you too are Achilles or a Greek god and enjoy some ambrosia. Do you like that? Should we taste it?
Oh, yeah, I need to taste it, but I forgot to bring a spoon. I'm just going to eat it off my spatula.
I think Neil's going to talk about the Trojan War.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And the recipe is on the website. Yeah.
Delicious.
Probably want to chill it. And yum. All right. Stick is going.
Shelley? Okay.
Neil, we need you to unmute. Right now we can't hear you.
There. Does that
There
got
you
it?
are.
All
Yeah.
right.
Good job.
So this is a story about the Trojan Wars. And you'll hear a lot of names of Greek heroes in this story, and Achilles is even one of them that's in this story. Once upon a time, there was a woman named Helen. She was known as the most beautiful woman on earth, and she was married to the king of Sparta, although she did not love him. One day, Prince Paris from a rival city called Troy came to visit. Paris immediately fell in love with Helen and hid her on his ship sailing back to Troy. The king of Sparta was very angry that Paris had taken his wife, so he declared war on Troy, and all of the other Greek city-states joined him. It was said that Helen had the face that launched 1,000 ships because her great beauty led to that war, and the Greeks filled 1,000 ships sailing to invade Troy. The city of Troy was very well protected in those days. People had built walls around their cities to keep them safe. Gates could be opened to let people into the city or locked to keep their enemies out. The walls around Troy were very high, and no matter how hard they tried, the warriors from Sparta and the Greeks who fought them could not get past the great walls of Troy. This war went on for 10 years, and some of the Greek heroes were even killed. Achilles was killed by Paris because Paris shot him with an arrow in the one spot that he wasn't immortal. That spot was his heel. One day, Odysseus, a Greek general, had a new idea. His plan was to trick the Trojans into thinking that the war was over and that the Greeks were leaving. Under his direction, they built a giant wooden horse to leave as a gift for Troy. That was the way things were done. When you admitted that you lost, you gave a gift to the winner. When it was ready, the Greeks brought the huge wooden horse to Troy's gates and left it there. And then the Greeks and Spartans pretended to sail away. When the Trojan guards at the top of the wall saw the ships leaving, they thought they had won the war. So the Trojans pulled the horse inside their city and closed the gates. The plan had worked. What the Trojans didn't know was that Odysseus had hidden some men inside the gift horse to sneak them into the city of Troy. That night, while the Trojan people slept, 30 Greek soldiers that were hidden inside the wooden horse climbed out, opened the gates of Troy, and let the rest of the army inside. And that was the end of Troy. The king of Sparta had not planned to take Helen back because he was still very angry that she left with Prince Paris. However, when he saw her, he was overwhelmed by her beauty once again and brought her home with him to Sparta. That's the story of the Trojan horse. And I think we're going to the craft table next to look at how you could build your own Trojan horse.
And I think if you leave the audio on there, I'll just really, really talk loud. All right.
Okay.
Or thumbs up if you can hear me.
I can hear ya.
Hey, I think we got it figured out. All right.
Okay.
So this is the Trojan horse, and the printout for the Trojan horse is on the Bright Lights website. And there are two different printouts. One already has this kind of wood grain thing going on. And the other one, see, it holds up, has wheels. The other one looks like this. So you can print this out later. You don't have to have it now. In fact, it would take us way too long. We wouldn't get through some more of the stories. But you can print it out, and then you could color it yourself. And it's pretty much one of those things. There's no directions, so I'm going to kind of go through the directions with you so you can do this later. So it's supposed to be really hot today, so maybe it's something that you can do. This one you're going to color, and I always like to color before I cut things out. I don't know about you, Lori, but then I can go over the outside. I'm going to cut it all out. This is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so I'm going to need the printout. This one gets, all you Greeks out there, this one gets a little bit more complicated. So pay close attention to where it says fold and where it says glue. And then if it's the dotted line, I know you guys know this, but that's how I cut this, right? I kind of snip it on the dotted line. I cut on the dark lines, I snip on the dotted line. And I cheated just a little. I'm going to admit that. I used tape because when you make this yoke, if you're going to use glue, which is great, and it says glue right here, that's great, then you're going to maybe have to have a friend help you hold it or be patient. Put on one of your favorite songs and hold it on there until that song stops, because you're going to have to glue this. And it makes kind of this little secret box that's from that story about the Trojan horse. So I can have, were there soldiers in there? Maybe?
30 soldiers.
30 soldiers can be hidden in here. I take skewers or any kind of stick. Your parents might have this. You might have this if you do lots of barbecuing, like for shish kebabs. So you're going to poke a hole through that, and you're going to poke a hole through your Trojan horse and then stick those wheels on. And so then you can ride around in this Trojan horse. So that is a craft that is on the Bright Lights website that you can print out. But remember, there's this one that's got the wood grain already. But I know so many of you out there are very creative. You might want to color your own markers, crayons, but then be really careful when you put this together. This is the side that you kind of snip, and it goes on the base, the back of the horse. That's called the yoke, and that's right here and here. And then this base right here holds this bottom part together. You see how I taped it. And then this part right here is kind of that secret passage where those soldiers were hiding.
Miss Renee, can you switch the camera to me for a second so I can kind of show the piece that goes together for them?
Yes, I can.
There it is. And as I folded it, you'll see it makes a square box. So you'll see how it goes into a box like this. And then these two pieces, these with the woohoo flippy flappies, those are going to hook onto each side of the horse, and that's attached to the box. So it'll make sense when you kind of get going, but if you think of that largest piece as making the hiding place for the soldiers, the rest will come together.
Perfect. All right, so tomorrow you join us, we're going to talk about doing weaving. And so those kinds of things that you need if you want to do it along with us is also on the Bright Lights website too. So we're going to go, and I'm going to share my screen with you again, and we're going to do a would you rather.
Oh, I love these.
You love these? Let me get this one open. All right, so it's going to be a
Would you rather?
And you guys are going to answer us with either an A or a B. Okay.
We'll just chat that and we'll watch it and share.
Here it comes.
Okay.
I do
Woo-hoo!
love it. I do. Okay, are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And can you see my would you rather?
Yeah.
Yes, I can see. Would you rather Greek mythology? Oh, here we go.
Would you rather travel by Pegasus, A, or travel by a griffin, B?
Ooh, I know.
I know. Looks like
The idea of a flying horse is too exciting.
all right. How about this one? Would you rather have a spear like Athena or a bow like Apollo?
Okay. Oh, we're seeing quite a few B's. There's an A, but looks like the B's are winning.
Yeah, Apollo. There's something about a bow. I don't know. Okay. Would you rather have the ability to turn everything into gold? That'd be pretty cool. Or have wings like Icarus?
Oh, boy, the idea of getting to fly would be pretty fun. It'd be great to have gold wings.
All right. How about this one? Would you rather hang out with Zeus for the day or visit Athena for the day? Zeus. Now, Lori, what goddess do you think are you Athena?
What's the one of home and domestication and?
Athena. She's the war.
Oh, I'm not Athena. Woo, no. I think I'm an H.
Hera.
Hera. You're Hera.
Oh, thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
Neil.
All right, how about this one? Would you rather be a goddess of wisdom and war or be a goddess of love and beauty? Wisdom.
I like wisdom and love, but that's not an option.
The teacher in me wants wisdom. Here we go. Would you have your symbol be the bow and arrow or have your symbol be a trident? A trident is what Poseidon had, that 3-spear thing. And
It's
for
like
those,
a pitchfork.
yeah, pitchfork, yeah. For those of you that are going to join us tomorrow, we're going to talk about hoplite shields. And on hoplite shields, you kind of have a symbol. So you might be thinking about what's that symbol. And then tomorrow, I promise we're going to have this whole muted thing down. Here we go. Would you rather, oh, I know, be a half goat, half man who loves to have a good time, or be a 3-headed dog that guards the underworld?
Oh, wow.
Decisions.
Well, being a goat, you know how they get all kicky and Oh, I like that, dancing around like a goat, and they love to have a good time. I think I'd like to be the half goat, half man, and I'd like to have a three-headed dog.
To protect all that gold that you turned into.
Right.
Rather, vacation at the temple of
Hephaestus.
Hephaestus, thank you, Neil, or vacation at the throne room of Zeus. It'd just be nice to go on vacation, no matter where.
No kidding.
All right. Tomorrow, and we're going to head over to Neil at the Book Nook in just a second. But tomorrow, one of the things, like I said, we're going to talk about hoplite shields and a hoplite warrior. Would they be a warrior, Neil?
They're soldiers. Hoplites are soldiers.
Hoplite soldiers. And we're also going to take a look at two different ways that we can weave. So that's kind of cool. So check that out. And if we have time, we might even look at some Greek pottery and how we could kind of invent some Greek pottery. But we're going to head over to Neil because we have to have a couple more myths. We're almost out of time. Neil, what are you going to read?
This is going to be the story of Theseus and the Minotaur.
All right. Oh, yeah, because tomorrow we're going to talk about some of those crazy creatures, too. So if you will head over to the Book Nook, and Neil's going to read you another myth.
You're still sharing your screen right now.
I don't get out of there.
Okay, we're back at the Book Nook, maybe. I still see.
Are we at the Book Nook?
I'm trying to get back to the book. Oh, there we are now.
You're good.
I gotta make sure.
There's Neil.
Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is the story of Theseus and the Minotaur. There was once a king named Minos who lived on the island called Crete. King Minos had a large fleet of ships and lived in a big palace. He even had a pet monster known as a Minotaur, who lived in a huge maze called the Labyrinth. However, sometimes King Minos got bored. To entertain himself, he took his ships and attacked Athens, a city across the sea. Aegeus, the king of Athens, was desperate and offered King Minos a deal. If he would stop attacking Athens, King Aegeus would send 7 girls and 7 boys to be eaten by the Minotaur every 9 years. King Minos accepted that deal. Prince Theseus of Athens knew it was important to keep promises made to other kingdoms, but he felt in this case that his father had made a bad deal. So Theseus told his father that he was going to Crete as the 7th son of Athens, and he was going to kill the Minotaur and end the terror. Though his father begged him not to go, Theseus felt that the gods would help him defeat the monster. When Theseus and the Athenian children arrived on the island, King Minos and his daughter, Princess Ariadne, came out to speak to them. The king told the children that they would be eaten the next morning. However, the king didn't realize that Princess Ariadne had fallen instantly in love with Prince Theseus when she saw him. Theseus secretly promised to marry the princess if she helped him kill the Minotaur. That night, she brought Theseus a ball of string and a sword, and she told him to hide in the labyrinth. Then in the morning, he could use the string to leave a trail and find his way back out of the giant maze. Theseus followed Princess Ariadne's plan and had the children wait safely inside the entrance of the labyrinth while he used the string to find his way back. He used the sword to kill the Minotaur so that no Athenian children would ever be eaten by it. Prince Theseus kept his word and sailed away from Crete with Princess Ariadne and the children. He was a hero in his homeland, Athens.
All right. Scooch over just a little bit, Neil. All right, we're back to the Book Nook. Tomorrow, we're going to take a look at a couple more myths. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to do some weaving. And so you can check out the Bright Lights website. It's a CD and some yarn. If you don't have that, I just have a piece of cardboard, and we're going to talk about Arachne and the weaving. And we're also going to talk about hoplites. It's one of Neil's favorite things.
That's right.
To talk about hoplites. And it's just a blank cake round right now, but tomorrow it'll be a hoplite shield. So I hope you had some fun today and learned a little bit about Greek mythology, because it's all Greek to us, you know. And I hope we see all of you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks.
That's
Renee.
awesome. Thank you,
Alrighty.
guys. Thank you so much. We learned a lot today, boys and girls. I hope that you are able to return tomorrow. We will be back here at 10 o'clock. And as Miss Shelley said, we're going to make a shield. You're going to learn about some weaving. And you can go to our Bright Lights website and look at the list of materials and get those things ready if you want tomorrow. Or remember, you can also do it after the camp. In the afternoon or later this week. If you do make your Trojan horse or you make some ambrosia, take a picture, put it on our Facebook page. We would love to see that. And we look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Thank you again, Miss Shelley, Neil. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya. Bye, everybody.